welcome to the Knit Sibs, a podcast by three yarn-obsessed sisters. Today we're doing something a little different, and we're going to talk about what our Advent knitting plans are. So we're each going to go through what Advents we have and what we have planned for them. So who wants to go first? Who has the most Advents?
I have two. I have a knitting and a spinning.
I have two. Glor?
Two.
Okay. So
We can round robin.
Yeah, we'll round robin it. So I'll start with my first one. That's a smaller one, I guess. So this is the Freckled Whimsy. I don't even know if there's a special name for it, but it's a like self-striping sock yarn. So it's two 50-gram skeins and then a 20-gram mini to go with it. So I am just going to knit vanilla socks with it. So super easy, super simple. I think this one I am going to maybe attempt my first ever 2 at a time socks, because I want to do them and have them like do them each and do the same number of stripes and stuff like that and have them done by Christmas. So that's my plan for my first one.
So why is it 250-gram?
It's like the mustache yarn. It's like
So they
perfect match type stuff.
Okay.
So
and do you know what the mini color is?
no, I know nothing. But my thing is though, so it's two 50-gram skeins and a 20-gram mini. If I want to start knitting on day one, like I've got to wind it up. So I might wind it up the day before.
You could wind it up the morning of
Wind
day
it up
one.
on day one, yeah.
That's like serious knitting time I'm losing though, if I'm winding it up. So
5 minutes.
yeah, I guess I can. Yeah. So I'll wait until December 1st and I'll wind it up that morning and then I'll start knitting on it. So that's my first Advent.
Okay. I could do my first one next.
Okay.
It's a post Advent. Julianne and I were trying to decide what you call it. It's a 12 days of Christmas. So you open the first one on Christmas and then one each day for the 12 days after it. Apparently there's like a name for that period of time, the 12 days of Christmas.
I'm going to Google it while you show it. So,
okay. So I got it from Inglenook. It's a spinning set. It's called Upon Midnight Clear. And the inspiration picture is that like Starry Night picture.
Okay.
So it's 5 ounces altogether and it's 12 little packets of fiber. All I know is this inspiration picture. I don't know what the fiber looks like. And then I also did a surprise me option where I didn't know if it was sparkle or not. So it may be sparkle, it may be not, but the fiber content says Angelina on my package. So I'm assuming that this package is a sparkle package. And
what's Angelina?
Angelina is like a sparkle.
Oh.
And in
then
what? Well, I don't know if they just use the same label for both, because when they sent out an email about what the fiber content was, and it said, if you have the sparkle option, you'll also have Angelina. But if you don't have the sparkle option, you won't. So I'm not sure if they're just using like the same cover for everything or not. But in true Valerie fashion, I did not understand what I was ordering. I thought I was just ordering like a 5-ounce mystery bat that was like a surprise, but they came individually wrapped and like packaged for each day. So it's about, I would say if it's 5 ounces total, it's probably like 10 or 11 ounces a day in these little packets. So I have no idea what?
Not 10 or 11 ounces.
Grams. I'm sorry, grams. 10 or 11 grams per little packet. So I have no idea how I'm going to spin these. Like, do I spin one big bobbin and then chain ply it? I don't know. I have no idea. And I don't know if it's a gradient. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know what's going on here. It's a mystery.
Do you think you're going to spin it as you open it, or you think you're going to open them all and then look at them and see? I don't know. Yeah.
I would like to spin them as I open them, but I feel like it makes more sense to look at them. Then I could make a plan. But I took this one out in particular because I was going to show you that there was like a little piece of sparkle stuck behind the sticker. So that was another clue that I thought it was a sparkle, but I pulled it out. Now I can't find it. But I think it makes more sense to open them and look at them than I could do something planful.
Yeah, I agree.
So did you see what that period of time is called?
Oh, no, it was just I was thinking of, so the period of time is from December 25th to January 6th, and January 6th is called the Epiphany.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was thinking of, but yeah,
But I think that's I think that's when it ends.
yeah,
I think that's 12 days.
yeah.
Okay.
All
All right,
right, so
Laura, what's
Laura,
your first one?
Okay, my first one is Miss Babs. So I have been wanting a Miss Babs advent for years, and I finally decided I was going to save myself and get the Miss Babs one. So I got the Miss Babs. I got the yummy 2-ply fingering. It is 25 minis. Came packaged like this, so they're all wrapped
Ooh.
in tissue paper. I do know what they look like though, because I looked at the spoiler picture. I got the tapestry set. They had 3 different sets this year. I got the tapestry set. So I do know what it looks like. I wouldn't say it's a fade, and it's not a gradient, but it's like the colors kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a fade because they're not the same colors. But they, there's a logical progression of colors through the days. It did come with a little project bag. Can I show that? Spoiler if you don't want to see the project bag, but it did come with a little project bag,
Oh,
which is
that's cute.
cute. It's definitely not big enough for an advent, but it's cute. And the advent did come with I think there's 5 days throughout the month that it comes with like little notions. So
Oh,
they're also wrapped up and they're labeled like this right here, day 20 has a notions that goes with it. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, because I already know what it looks like. So I think I'm going to open them and wind them up on Thanksgiving, because I'm gonna be home on Thanksgiving. So I think I'm gonna wind them up just because I can't wind them day by day because I'm not leaving my thing out all for the whole month. So I think I'm just going to open them and wind them on Thanksgiving. And then I think I'm going to leave the notions wrapped up. And I'll open those on the specified day throughout the month. So that's my plan for that. And I have some ideas of what I want to make. So I've been wanting to make the Ambah O'Brien Adventuresome wrap, this one,
Very
for a long
nice.
time. Yeah, so I think I'm finally going to make it this year. I did get a skein of coordinating, a full skein of coordinating. So, sometimes the advent doesn't come with a coordinating color. So this one, it doesn't work with everything, because if you didn't get the full skein of coordinating, then it
Did
wouldn't
Miss
work.
Babs offer the coordinating, or you just picked one out?
They offered, they had a couple suggestions of
Yeah.
coordinating colors for each set that they had.
Okay.
So I got actually got 2 of the ones that they recommended. So I want to make the Adventuresome wrap, and I'm thinking that it's probably not going to take the whole mini skein. So I also have really wanted to make this one for a while too, the Adventurer. And this one does not use a coordinating skein, and it just kind of flows from one into the other. It's got like a chevron pattern. I tried to make it a couple years ago with a set that I had, and the colors were too variegated to work. So I ripped it out and I made the other one. I don't know what it's called. Another one of her patterns that it worked much better with. So I'm thinking, because my colors are very tonal, they're just very tonal colors, I think it'll work well with this. And this one, because I've tried to make it before, only used about half the yarn for the day. So I'm thinking, if I have enough left over, if this still only uses half the yarn and this only uses half the yarn, I can make both of them with my Miss Babs set. So that's my plan. Julie, you're muted.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose over here and I forgot to unmute it.
So that's my plan for my Miss Babs advent.
Nice. All right, so my next advent is Murray and Co. Wool Goods is the name of it. and it came in a big priority mailbox, and everything is wrapped up in paper bags, and there's a couple
Oh,
little
that's
goodies in there.
cute.
I got or I'm sure it only came offered with it, a coordinating skein that'll open on Christmas Day. And everything is wrapped up and numbered and beautiful.
Did you peek at anything yet?
What?
Did you peek at anything?
No. Why would I?
Is that a
why would I-
lie?
Why would I dare peek? It's Advent.
So you're opening your full skein on Christmas Day.
Yes.
So then if you're making something that alternates the mini skein with the full
Just-
skein,
Just wait and you'll see. So her Advent was based on like vintage holiday cards. So this came with it. So this is a little kind of idea, I guess, of what it's based on. So here's a vintage, vintagey looking what a card would look like, but it's a sticker. Okay, my plan for my Advent is to make the Dust of Snow. Is that what it's called? Dust of Snow by Helen Stewart. I will insert a picture here somehow in the magic of editing. And it is a lace shawl where the colors kind of fade from one to the other. It is held with mohair. I got some Surrey to use with it from my local yarn store, Surrey Stratus, and it's 68% Surrey alpaca and 32% nylon. The mohair at my local yarn store, they didn't have enough for me to use. I need I think 5 skeins of this stuff because you hold it throughout the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about this pattern, it does not call for a contrasting skein. And I really kind of went back and forth. I wanted to use everything. But then I just wasn't falling in love with the patterns that I saw that had the contrasting skein. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to use contrasting skein for a pair of socks or something like that. And I'll be happy with this. From what I think I read, you use 14 grams of your 20-gram mini skein on this shawl. So I was thinking that I might use the extra and make the Second Chance shawl. Do you guys remember that by Charnett?
oh, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
her.
Yeah,
But I
so
don't
she
remember the
she does
shawl.
stitch markers and stuff like that, but she also does pattern designing, and she had one where it's you have a solid color that you hold for making a shawl, and then you have a little V of contrasting colors every few rows, and
And it's like an eyelet. It's like an eyelet row.
Right, yeah.
And the eyelet row is the contrast color.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And so that calls for leftover mini skeins from advent calendars. So I thought that might be a nice one to use up some of the scraps that'll be left over. And I'm not sure. So one of the reasons I like this pattern is because I think it doesn't matter what color order you go in. The sample one is shown with just kind of random colors. They're very, very neutral looking, but I think that's because it's held with the mohair. Anything's going to look more neutral with the mohair.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a really good pattern for me being able to just open it and knit it without having to open everything and pre-plan it or anything like that. I can open each day and just knit from that, because I do like to just open it each day. I don't like to pre-plan. I don't like to pre-open. I wind them every day and I use them every day. 20 grams for me is a lot to knit in a day. So I think that it being 14 grams might be a bit more manageable for me.
I don't think I've found any pattern that actually uses the 20 grams.
I
Unless you're
did
making a blanket.
Right. I did the habitation throw one year, which I think is also a Helen Stewart one. And you use all your yarn, which is great because you use all your yarn, but it was a lot of knitting. I mean, you think of that like 5 mini skeins together is a full skein of yarn. So in 5 days, you're knitting more than a pair of socks worth of knitting. And it was too much for me. I think I think I burnt myself out after a week trying to do the habitation throw. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do like one color every 2 or 3 days because it was too much. So I'm hoping that this one will be manageable. And I think it will be.
There's another pattern that I just saw the other day by she's on Instagram, Julianne Knitter. She's from Canada. I think she's Twin Stitches Designs.
Okay.
And she has this cowl that is meant to be used with like your leftovers. And I think she said each like band of color only takes about 4 grams. But it's like mountain something cowl. And it's like it's like a
Chevron.
yeah, but not like it's like flat on the bottom and then like mountain on the top. But then it alternates like the color with white, with like a solid color. So it's cute though. And then she it's one of those ones where it's knit like a tube and then you join it as a cowl, but she twisted it. So it's really cute.
Cute.
So,
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
I'll put a picture in here so everyone knows what we're talking about.
And your advent kit, it comes with like little goodies too, right? On certain days.
I don't know, actually. I don't know. It came with a couple little goodies, which I'm going to share because if you've opened your box, you've seen it. But I'm going to I guess we should probably put a spoiler at the beginning saying that we're going to talk about what's in them. But it came with just like a couple bags of tea and some little mints and that sticker. And I think that's it. I haven't like dug in it because they're in order in there and I didn't want to take them all out. But I don't think there's goodies. I'm not sure though. We'll find out.
It'll be an adventure.
It will be. All right. So Val, what's your next one?
Okay. So this year is my first year getting an advent kit like ever. And I wound up with 2. But my second one is the traditional yarn advent. I have 25 minis and a full skein. I got from Sunshine Yarns. They had 2 options this year for colorways. They had Junglescape and Summer's End. So I got Summer's End. See if I could show you what that looks like. I think I have to turn my brightness down. It's like oranges and blues and like sand colors, sand and sky and clouds and sunsets. So I got that option. And I had already in my mind committed to getting Sunshine Yarns Advent. I've never ordered from them before, and I figured this would be like a good introduction to their yarns. And then I heard that they weren't individually wrapping their minis. So I was a little disappointed by it. I'm not going to lie. I wanted that whole experience of like opening it up and being surprised. So when it came, I asked my husband to wrap it up for me. So he did. I had these little paper sandwich bags that had sharks on them. And I thought it was like
it goes with the theme.
With the theme,
Yeah,
exactly. So I numbered them, like I numbered all the bags and I gave him a stack of bags and I gave him the package and told him to have at it. So he put all the little mini skeins in here for me. He did show me what it looked like when it came out of the bag. He was like, this is so pretty, you need to see it. So they did package it with this like pretty tissue paper and they wrapped it up all nice. And he was like, oh, I could tell you got a quality product here. The way it was tagged and everything, he said it was very well done. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. It also came with the card that has all of the colorways that he hid on the bottom of the box. So this is the box. So he said he didn't want to, this is not what it came in. I just, put it in a box with all of my little every day in it. So underneath all of those little envelopes is the list of the colorways. So he's like, I don't want it to give away anything. So I don't know if the colorways mention something about like blue sky or orange sunset, like if it'll reference the color. I also don't know if it's a gradient. I don't know if it's a fade. I don't know. So those things, I don't know if they're speckled. I don't know if they're semi-solids. I don't know anything.
I got a Sunshine Yarns one year, but like after the fact.
Yeah, they do re-dyes.
They do re-dyes. So I got one and it was a fade, I would say. Like the colors definitely they faded into each other. It was beautiful. I love the shawl that I made with it. And I would say, and I feel like they kind of say that all the colors are tonal.
Okay.
But then the full skein that you get as the coordinate, I didn't get a full skein with mine. The full skein that you get usually when they do these mini skein things, just regularly, because I order from them fairly regularly, you can choose if it's tonal or speckle.
So I did have a choice, and it told you the name, like the listing on their website gives you the name of the yarn for the full skein. But I couldn't find the skeins on their website, but I knew that I wanted to do something that alternated the full skein with the mini skeins, and I thought it would be too busy if I did a speckle. So I got the
Right.
semi-solid.
Yeah.
So that I didn't have him wrap up because I was like, I'm gonna need to know that right off the bat. So that the full skein that I got, the colorway is Rome. And I think the one that was a speckle was something that was more beachy, like toes in the sand or sunken treasure. Like it was something that referenced something more beachy than Rome does. And I was scouring the site to find it and I couldn't find it. But I'm looking forward to opening it. I'm expecting it to be some kind of like a sunset or something, like with, the blues and the oranges. And
Did George say if they were like labeled by day?
they are labeled by day.
Okay.
Yeah. They're labeled by day, and then the list of the colorways is labeled by day.
Okay. So if it is a fade or something like that, that's been maintained with
Yes.
this. So that's good.
Yeah. And I could tell when I took this out that there was a tag, and like I could see through this enough to see that there is like the tag right there. So that probably is the tag that says the day.
Yeah.
I've been very good. I haven't like held it up to the light or anything as tempted as I've been. I might have looked on Instagram to see if anyone hashtagged it, and I didn't see anything. But I really wanted to make something that would use all of the colors and all of with the coordinating scheme. And I am not like super well versed at Ravel researching. So it was hard for me to find something that had like the alternating. So the Ambah O'Brien, she seems to have the biggest variety of patterns that are made for advent kits or mini skein kits. So I plan on making the Lamina wrap. That is this one. So this one it looks like I haven't purchased the pattern yet, but it looks like it's like lace panels in between garter stitch of the solid. So I like that, but then I also saw that she's coming out with one this month called, I think it's called like Fizzalicious or something. And that looks like it's garter stitch of the mini skeins with like a lace panel in your solid color.
Or eyelets or something, like it looks like it's circles.
It looks fun.
I feel like it's kind of like the conch stitch from
Oh, that was hard. That was
like kind of like it, but different. Like I feel like it's making like a circular something with a strand in the middle, like, or it's like.
Well, I need to know if it has a knit. If it has a knit 7 together through the back loop, I'm not doing it.
That I don't know. Yeah, because it hasn't been released yet, but it looks like it's like a loopy type of thing, and then it's like gathered in the middle.
In the middle,
yeah. Because like she hasn't, I get her like emails, and she had a link. She had a picture of it in the email, and then a link to her blog that had it on there. But she hasn't given like a close up picture of what that stitch looks like.
Yeah, well, depending on what that stitch is, that will make up my mind. Because there is something super appealing about a squishy garter stitch wrap. And especially if I'm making it with 25 minis and a full skein, it should be a decent, nice.
I'm a little upset about these people who are like releasing patterns after Thanksgiving or after for advent calendars. Like I need to plan. There's another one that like they're releasing it on December 1st or November 30th or something like that. Like, how can you plan to knit that?
Right. But that one that you're talking about, Val, I was thinking of doing that one, the Fizzalicious, I had gotten last year, Sunshine Yarns and Ambah O'Brien did a Halloween thing, and I bought a set, and then I really didn't like the pattern because it like literally had like skulls, like lace skulls in the pattern, and I was like, that's not my style. But I saw she did that wrap with one of the Halloween sets. So she mirror imaged
Yeah, that's the way the
it's-
sample is. Yeah.
yeah, it's 12 colors. So then she mirror imaged the colors. So I might do that with my Halloween set from last Halloween.
So your Halloween set, is that 12 20-gram minis?
Mhm.
Oh, so then it
So
would
you can probably make something else.
it would
I'll
only
give
use
I'll
half my
give you an
yarn.
idea. I'll give you an idea of something else that you can make with your leftover when we get to my second set.
Okay,
Well, let's
I
get
don't
to your
have
second
too much
set soon.
leftover.
You're probably gonna have a lot left over, yeah.
I'm gonna have to
So-
think. I have to look at yarn
Okay.
requirements for the two.
All right.
Well, you can make matching accessories like hats and mitts and stuff.
Or you could make what I'm gonna recommend. So my second set is I got the Polka Dot Creek Canadian Christmas countdown.
Nice.
And it came packaged like this. It's so adorable.
That is so cute.
Yeah, I
posted
opened
on
it up and I was like, oh my God, this is so stinking cute. I can't even stand it.
She posted on
Um,
Instagram the other day that she had more available, and I was so freaking tempted.
You already have two. You guys can't talk
Well,
about
it's a
me and
skinny
my
one, it
yarn
doesn't
buying.
count.
Yeah.
And it's only
So-
12 days. It's not a full one.
And it starts after Christmas.
So it is it's 25 days, and then I did get the option to add a 50-gram neutral skein. You could add that or not. I did add it. And every day is a different Canadian dyer. So it's
And that is so awesome.
25.
Love that.
Yeah, it's 25 different dyers. And they are all I don't know if you can see this or not. They are all inspired by the Grinch.
Oh, cute. Okay.
So it says Merry Grinchmas there.
Yeah.
So they're all inspired by the Grinch. And then I ordered it because I was not feeling well. I was away and I discovered that I now get migraines and I wasn't feeling well. And they posted that they had these sets available and I was like, screw it, I'm getting it to make myself feel better. Then I realized that it was inspired by the Grinch. I didn't even realize that when I ordered it. And then I was like looking at the inspiration pictures and I was like, is it all going to be like green and red and yellow and black? So
think
then
you'll
then I started getting nervous. So I did peek at day one just to see if it was all like red and green and I'm not going to say anything, but I did peek at day one just to get an idea of what one of the colors looked like. But my plan for this one is I am going to open them one day at a time. I probably won't wind them and even attempt to make anything with them until at least January, because I know I am not going to get to it. So I'm okay with opening this one day at a time. I'm not planning on making the project in December because I just don't think I'm going to get to it. I'm just, trying to be a little bit realistic.
Yeah.
But the box, the kit did come with a pattern and I printed it out, but it got cut off. It is the Christmas Countdown Cowl. And it is designed by Shelley from Polka Dot Creek. So I can send you a picture, Julie, if you want to insert a picture of what it looks like, because I can't
Sure.
show it here, but it looks like it's like a Festival of Stitches type of cowl where every day is going to have a different kind of stitch. And then it's kind of, yeah. And then it's separated with that neutral color. So I'm like 99% sure I'm going to make the Christmas Countdown cowl with the Canadian Countdown set.
How much yarn does that call for then? You can't use a full 20 grams each day.
Right. No, I
It's gonna be
think
enormous.
it's only going to use about 10.
Okay. That's still going to be big.
So what I plan on making with the other 10 grams is the Wolop cowl. So
I've seen that one
it's-
a lot.
Yeah, so it's just like, here, let me see. Yeah. That page has a better picture. So it's just like stripes. They're separated by eyelet rows, or I think you can just do like a purl row. I think half the cowl is separated by an eyelet row and half the cowl is separated with a purl bump. But I've seen people just do all eyelet rows, all purl bumps, and whatever. And this takes 10 grams. So because I know a lot of people have been making it with their row 1 minis, and those are 10 grams. So that is what I am going to plan on making with the leftovers from my Canadian Christmas countdown.
Very nice.
So 2 sets, 4 patterns. They should be done in about 5 years.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think that's very economical. A lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah. Yeah. So Val, you could make the Wolop cowl
I could.
with your other half leftover.
Is that like knit in a tube and then joined together?
I've been thinking about a scrappy juniper cowl. So it'll just be a lot of ends to weave in.
Yeah. I don't like weaving in ends in crochet.
I don't even know how to weave in ends in crochet.
Or just tie. Didn't we wind up not magic knotting them?
That's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
just magic
Yeah, you
knot
guys
it.
told me about magic knot when I was like halfway through.
Yeah. So you can do
Yeah.
it on this one. You'll get lots of practice.
Yeah, that's what I did with I actually wore my juniper cowl today. And I just magic knotted it together.
I forgot about that. That's what I'll do.
All right. Well, that is all of our 6 advents between the 3 of us. That's so pathetic. We have
Episode
too
after
much.
Christmas where we reveal everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know if we'll post any spoilers throughout the month or anything like that. We'll see. But so we'd love to hear what everyone else is doing for their Advent knitting. So leave a comment below. Tell us if you got an Advent kit, if anyone got the same ones as us and what they're planning on knitting. We'd love to hear about it. So we will wish you all a happy Thanksgiving if you're in America, and we'll be back soon with another episode. So happy knitting.
Happy knitting.
Yay.